What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here, as always, on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Today, we are also being broadcast the replay on the Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you, Mr. Meacham, for allowing that to go down. And today, we're going to be discussing from 2013, 42. The Story of Jackie Robinson, starring Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford, Andre Holland, Nicole Beharie, and Ellen Tudyk. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me today on another brand new episode of Renegades Reviews. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, here to bring you my thoughts on yet another film celebrating Black History Month. And today we're going to round out the Chadwick Boseman hat trick, if you will. We've already discussed Marshall. We've already discussed Get On Up, the story of James Brown. And today we're going to discuss his performance as Jackie Robinson in the film 42. Now, our film begins in 1945 and is being told to us by Wendell Smith, an African-American sports journalist. Branch Rickey, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, is looking to add a black player to his team, and he begins looking through the files and statistics for all the players in the Negro Leagues. He stumbles onto the file for Jackie Robinson, who's a tremendous hitter and shortstop. Now, they don't really need a shortstop on the Dodgers because they have Pee Wee Reese. So they begin putting Jackie in different positions to try to find where he will fit on the Dodgers squad when it is his time to come up. Now, Jackie currently is playing with the Kansas City Monarchs, and as his team is on the road driving through St. Louis, the bus stops to get gas. The team gets off to stretch their limbs, and Jackie begins to head for the washroom. Now, the attendant denies him entrance because it's a white-only restroom. You know, everything being segregated at the time, there were blacks only, whites only, for pretty much everything, drinking fountains, restrooms, etc. Now, Jackie tells the attendant to take the gas nozzle out of the tank and that they will buy their 99 gallons of gas for the bus from somewhere else. 99 gallons of gas, you know, it's a lot of gas. So the attendant obviously doesn't want to lose that kind of sale. So he goes ahead and he relents and he allows Jackie to use the washroom. Now, when Jackie emerges from the restroom, a scout from the Dodgers is waiting there. He's tracked Jackie down at the request of Branch Rickey to bring him in for a meeting. And Rickey offers Jackie $600 a month salary and a $3,500 signing bonus to sign with the Dodgers. Of course, Jackie's blown away by the offer. He goes ahead and he signs. But Rickey's only stipulation is that Jackie has to control his temper. Rickey warns Jackie of all the things he's going to endure while he's playing in the major leagues, from fans heckling and taunting him and shouting racial slurs, to rival teams and their prejudices about having to play against a black man in the white leagues, all the way down to his own prospective teammates that have issues because one of them is going to have to get cut to make room for Jackie, thereby losing a teammate, a friend, someone who's been there for a while. Now, when Jackie leaves the meeting, he phones Rachel, his girlfriend, and he proposes to her over the phone, which of course she accepts. Jackie reports to spring training, and he ends up earning a spot on the Montreal Royals, which is Brooklyn's minor league affiliate at the time. Jackie is a standout player with a great season for Montreal, and eventually he gets called up to the Dodgers the following year, but not without resistance. The boys in Brooklyn start a petition saying that they're going to refuse to play with Jackie if he comes up. Well, Dodger manager Leo DeRocha puts an end to that immediately. He's going to have no part of that. What Branch Rickey wants, Branch Rickey's going to get. You guys need to fall in line, or else y'all can be replaced as well. Now, not long after Jackie's debut in Brooklyn for the preseason, Leo is suspended for 1 year due to actions in his personal life. This leaves the Dodgers without a manager as they head into opening day. Rickey hires Bert Schotten, who's a former Philadelphia Phillies Cincinnati Reds manager, to take the reins of the team. And during a game between the Dodgers and the Phillies, Ben Chapman, the Phillies manager, taunts and heckles Jackie, using many derogatory and racial slurs. Jackie is able to connect with the ball in 2 at-bats, but he ends up popping out both times. After his second at-bat, Jackie goes to the dugout and he breaks a bat and he starts to break down. A man can only take this type of stuff for so long before he's going to have an emotional breakdown. Rickey comes into the dugout and he begins to try to calm Jackie down. Jackie tells him that, when I go up there next, if he does it again, I'm going to get physical. I'm going to knock him out. And Rickey tells him, don't, because all that people are going to see is a black man assaulting a white man. They're not going to see everything that led up to it because of racist eyes. They're just going to see the altercation. So Rickey tells him the best way to hurt Chapman back is the scoreboard. So Jackie pulls himself together, and when he goes up for his next at bat, he gets a single. Once he's on first base, he steals second. And then he advances to third on a throwing error. So now he's on third base, and he's able to score the winning run, getting some revenge, as Rickey said. Now, because of Chapman's behavior, the Phillies begin to receive some negative publicity. So the next time the two teams meet, Herb Pennock, the general manager of the Phillies, orders Chapman to pose for photos with Jackie, both as an apology and to try to generate some positive press for the Phillies instead of the negative press that they've been having. Now, not long after this incident with Chapman, the Dodgers are set to play a game in Cincinnati. And Pee Wee Reese, who I mentioned earlier, their shortstop, is from Kentucky. So this is about as close to a hometown game as they get in these days. So it's a homecoming of sorts for him. Jackie, when he takes the field, gets booed and taunted by the crowd. And even Pee Wee is getting some heat from the crowd for playing with a Negro player. Well, Pee Wee has seen everything that Jackie has gone through up to this point. And so in order to silence the crowd, he goes up to Jackie on first base and he just kind of talks to him a little bit puts his arm around Jackie, a show of solidarity. And this move by Pee-wee silences the crowd. If Jackie is good enough for our hometown boy, he's good enough for us, type of thing. Now, a few games later, in a game against the Cardinals, Enos Slaughter accidentally spikes Jackie in the back of his leg with his cleats as he's trying to run to first base, Jackie being the first baseman. Like I said, he was a shortstop, but in order to try to fit him on the team, they ended up putting him on first base. And the last thing we see in the movie is a final face-off between Jackie and the Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the Pirates pitcher, Fritz Ostermuller, had nailed Jackie in the head with a pitch earlier in the film. Complete dugout clearing brawl ensued as a result of that because, even though the boys may not completely like Jackie, they were going to defend his honor against the rival team. So this time at bat, Jackie is able to knock one clear out the park, home run, which helps the Dodgers clinch the National League pennant, sending them to the World Series against the Yankees, which unfortunately is a series that they lose. I'd seen the film 42 once before and really enjoyed it. It was only my second exposure to Chadwick after, of course, T'Challa and the Black Panther. But, I've said this a couple times with Marshall and Get On Up, and I'll repeat it here. Chadwick just had this charisma about him that when he took the screen, he commanded your attention. And it was the same thing here in his role of Jackie Robinson in 42. Jackie Robinson, of course, the very first African American to play on the major leagues in baseball, to get out of the Negro leagues and come to the main teams, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Reds, etc. And was such an influence that now every year during baseball season, for one day every year, every player on every team wears the number 42 as a tribute to Jackie. Jackie's number 42 is the only number that is retired league-wide throughout professional baseball, meaning that no player can wear that number, doesn't matter what team you're on. Every team has that number retired out of respect for Jackie. And that just goes to say, all kinds of things about how respected Jackie was in the realm of professional baseball. When it comes to my rating for the film, even though I am personally not a huge baseball fan anymore, I was when I was a lot younger. My mom still likes to tell stories about when I was a boy and Los Angeles Dodgers fan at that. I would sit on the floor with my baseball cards and I would have each player put out on the floor representing where they are on the field, the position they play. And then I would have next to it the rival team's cards, and I would move them around the field. If they got a double, I'd put the card onto second base. They got another run, move them to third, etc., throughout the entire game. So even though I am not a baseball fan anymore, I am a hockey fan these days. I definitely respect the legacy of Jackie Robinson. I admire the performances both of Chadwick Boseman and of Harrison Ford. And let's not underwrite Alan Tudyk. as Ben Chapman, the Phillies manager that really gets under Jackie's skin, causing him to crack. This man, Alan Tudyk, has become like an all-star in recent years, mainly for his voice acting. He's the voice of King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. He's the voice of the Duke of Weselton from Frozen. He's the voice of Duke Weaselton from Zootopia, a complete play on his previous role. And I forget the droid's name, but he's the voice of the droid from Rogue One as well, the Star Wars film. Let us not praise Alan Tudyk's role as just a dastardly asshole in this film who causes Jackie to break. But again, my rating for this one is 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy this film. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite baseball films of all time, right up there with the likes of The Sandlot and Major League. So 4.5 out of 5 stars. What do you think about 42? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. As always, let's get out there on social media. Get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. Hashtag Jeff Meacham Network. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Don't forget to do what the commercial just told you. Get out there, support us. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. Get yourself your Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirt, your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, your Statboy Sports Bar shirt, your Meachamania shirts, Talk Wrestling, and of course the official shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network. Make sure you tune in tomorrow right here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow right here on another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively, as always, on the Casa D18 Studios channel, when I will be discussing from 1991, Boys in the Hood, starring Cuba Gooding Jr., Ice Cube, Morris Chestnut, Nia Long, Regina Keene, Angela Bassett, and Lawrence Fishburne. You're not going to want to miss that tomorrow, right here exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Thank you for joining me as always. I greatly appreciate it. And until Boys in the Hood tomorrow, I will see y'all next time.